Hey there everybody, Pop on Top here. Welcome back to some more Fallout 4 mods. In today's mod, we have what is referred to here as the Institute Energy SMG, which is kind of a unique, kind of cool sounding gun. And it looks like a lot like a P90, actually, like an Institute P90. Because it reloads just like that. So it shoots fully auto, nice rapid energy fire rate. And you reload like a P90, right? It's got that top-fed magazine. Obviously, it's not like clear like the P90 because it's shooting energy cells. You can kind of see like there's like an energy cell interface under there where like you like shove like 4 of them in a row and then like they make contact or however the fuck energy weapons work, right? Oh no, I got demonetized because I said fuck in the first 30 seconds of the video. Oh no, what will I do? But it's a cool looking gun. It is a cool looking gun, right? I think it has a cool looking style to it. Very much looks like an Institute weapon, like something the Institute would make. And obviously we covered other Institute designed weapons. We covered the electromagnetic rifle that we had there, and then the covert pistol. And this is the SMG variant, so this is very cool. Very cool rapid fire. By default, statistically, is a lot like, I mean, look at that P90. It looks like a P90, okay? Right? So this is very much like a P90. Very much balanced to do similar damage as the default SMG in the base game, which is not very good. High fire rate, though. Shoots regular, default fusion cells, right? Or energy cells, I guess, right? In this game, accuracy of 44 is very low with a range of 59. Like, we're not hitting anything in vats from even this far away. It's a spray and pray kind of gun. Once you've downloaded the mod for yourselves, though, you can craft this weapon for yourself at the chemistry station under Institute SMG. Apparently, this one does more damage for some reason. It does require a science of 2, so it's not something you can do very early unless you kind of spec into that. And it does require a decent amount of, rare components: adhesive, fiberglass, glass, gold, plastic, and screws. Those goddamn screws, those goddamn desk fans, you gotta get them everywhere. That's a P90. It's a P90. Like, this is a P90 that shoots energy cells. Because that's what that was. Like, that pull-out animation, right? The reload animation. Everything about this gun is P90, right? But Institute style. Institute made a P90. Why not? Because the P90 was like kind of like, in real life, a gun that was used to like, be like, this is what the future SMGs is going to be like at the time they made it, right? So like, obviously we want to go advanced receiver, right? 41 damage. That's pretty good. You get some armor penetration on there, which might be good on something like this. Actually, just want the armor piercing receiver, don't you? I mean, unless you want to go rapid, you want to go nuts with it. I'm gonna put that on for now because I want to show that off. So we have an improved short barrel, so which improves the damage. Improved long barrel and stock, and then a long barrel and stock. So you probably really want to go long barrel and stock. Improved long barrel and stock, so you get the most recoil reduction. There's some recoil on the gun. I'll show that there'll probably be recoil even on this version here. And then you get the maximized damage and range stat, right? So you get an SMG magazine or an SMG large magazine. Throw that thing on there too. You just bigger mag. You can see you get a couple scope options here: reflex sight, night vision scope, and a short scope. It's crazy that you would put a short scope on this gun. We'll put a reflex sight on there for now. So you do have all the laser gun attachments, which is cool, right? The beam focuser, the splitter, which would make this very cool gun. The gyro compensating lens, amplified beam splitter, fine-tuned beam focuser, and the gyro compensating lens, right? So like different types of things. I would put the splitter on there. Obviously our accuracy is 18. We're never going to use this in, vats. And then we have the 2 different firing attachments. So currently you're shooting beams, and you can also shoot pulsed. It doesn't change the damage. It doesn't change the weapon statistically, but it's going to change how the weapon fires. We'll show this off here in a second. Unfortunately, it's raining. So give me 1 second. I'm going to fix that. Through the power of being God and having cheats, I have equipped the weapon here. This is the reflex sight. This is a nice reflex sight. This is very similar to what we saw on, I believe, the Institute electromagnetic rifle, which is just a very clear, like, hollow sight, right? We have... Please don't hit that person in the background. Trash can Carla just walking. The recoil is insane. Like, this is what the max out stock. Obviously, you see the pulse here is a lot like plasma weapon, I think, is the idea, right? Like, it's just like pulses of energy, right? Like big chunks of it. But obviously with the splitter too, this is going to do a lot of damage. You can't quite see the damage measuring target's damage here. But I mean, if we showed it off here in vats, we go even for body shots, we're doing damage. Obviously, the weapon just broke there in vats. That's a negative side effect of the thing. We do get the large mag 65 instead of, I believe, 50, which is the default, which is like a P90's 50. This is 65. The weapon doesn't work in vats. It just doesn't. Like, it looks like you're holding it to the sky, which is it's a big negative. That is a big negative, okay? But I do think there's some cool stuff here, and with some, bug fixing, we can make it a lot better. Obviously, I still think you want to go armor piercing receiver. You're going to maximize that damage. You don't need the more fire rate. You need that range stat to go up. The accuracy stat still sucks, but that's because we're beam splitting. We'll put it back on like a no muzzle so you can see what the default beam focuser looks like, right? So if we were shooting this, it's like the big plasma. It's still blue, but blue plasma balls of energy. And the recoil is still high. It's not as high as the splitter, but like you're also not getting the benefit of just absolutely unloading massive amounts. You know, the 4-shot spread every time you shoot the weapon, and you just kind of hip fire, spray and pray. And the hip fire is kind of wide on this gun. For what I would consider like to be a good SMG. You want like a laser sight, something to make it real tight, so you can just kind of use it almost as a replacement for a shotgun. But you could do other things here. Obviously, you could do. I mean, I think armor piercing is the way to go on this, right? I think that improved long barrel in stock is the way to go. You need that range stat, but you definitely want to put something on that's going to increase that accuracy stat. So a beam focuser is a good idea, but it's still our gyro compensating lens, right? Like the quantum gyro compensating lens gets you all the way up to 71 accuracy. You do lose some range, but you're never going to shoot something at more than 180 range. Like I feel like that's just not going to happen. This is not how I think you use the weapon, but we still get like now we get good accuracy at like a decent medium range. Once again, absolutely broken VATS camera. That broken VATS camera applies to when you're in conversations too. So when you're talking to people, if you have this gun out, you're just kind of holding it up by your head. Or not really holding it up and down. It's bugged out of its mind. Okay, it is bad. I guess we could increase the accuracy technically more if you really wanted to use the weapon in VATS by putting a short scope on there. We get up to 79, which is good. It's really good for an SMG. But this recoil here is going to be absolutely banana nuts and insane. Really with the scope, like you're not really hitting anything at that long range like that, right? Like that's not. I'm trying my best to keep the target on there. But we're going to test the weapon out in combat. We're going to see how this goes. I still think, even though it is not necessarily the most accurate way to do it, I would just say fuck the accuracy and put the nice reflex sight back on there, or standard sights even, fuck it, and I would split it. I would just, because I'd almost even make it rapid, right? I would make it, I mean, armor piercing is probably going to be better, because especially with low damage guns, you need that armor piercingness to kind of cut through some of that damage resistance, because otherwise you're just not doing very much damage per shot. So like, this is probably the way that I'd rock it, you know, but you know, it's not, obviously, that's being broken in it, broken. You're shooting the sky and then somehow the blasts are coming out. It does have some cool ideas though. I very much like the look of it being essentially like an energy P90 that the Institute made. That's very cool. I think it's a cool idea. Very cool if you ask me, right? And I like the customization we can do with the weapon. I like that you can make it pulsed or beam. I probably prefer the beams myself, but it's cool that you can. Cool that you could put the beam splitter on there. The reflex sight is very good. The fact that you can put scopes on there is good. Big 65 round mag when you upgrade it. Even 50 by default is huge. And the different receivers are good. This is all good stuff, right? Like the armor piercing receiver does not require any science. It's the best one. Like it's the best one because it does just as much damage as the advanced receiver. So there's like you're maximizing damage. There's no ones that do more damage than this. And but you can go rapid if you want to go nuts. And I'm going to when I test this weapon out in combat. I'm gonna rapid fire receiver this thing. I'm gonna hit fire down fucking hallways like a maniac. And just hope and pray and just put the absolute most amount of beams down range as I can. So I will see you guys in just a second when I get to some combat. We give it a good old test. Alright everybody, we got this bad motherfucker right here. This Institute Energy SMG. We are absolutely going to fry some things in the super duper mark, because why not? Might as well shoot some ghouls or something. Who knows? I mean, whatever, really. Let's find some gunners. Fuck it. And we're just going to spray. I'm going to spray from the hip. This is the way that I designed the weapon. Obviously, I mean, I can use it in VATS. It technically works in VATS, right? We'll show off that it does indeed hit. One thing that's not doing nearly enough damage to be that effective at that. And even then, I mean, that's a corporal, right? I had to put like a whole mag in that man. So that isn't doing enough. Right? Like, this is a lot of damage I got to put out from this weapon. I mean, how many VATS bursts would I have to shoot for this to even, like, be considered like a tiny bit effective? I guess we can go for, well, really what you'd have to do is you'd have to go for headshots and crit every time that you possibly could. But then obviously the weapon's broken in VATS. That bothers me way too much. And like even one full VATS burst of all of the AP I can get out with an agility stat of over 10, I'm not doing enough. Like it's not enough. Like, obviously this is the beam splitter on. That's what I'm talking about. Like, without the armor piercing receiver on, we're not really doing enough here. I don't think it's gonna make a huge difference. Like, this just gives that. Hello, everybody. But like, I'm going for headshots, right? In vats. I get 4 bursts. That's it. And my game just fucking crashed. I guess I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, everybody. I'm back. I've made the weapon slightly different. I put the sword scope on there. I took the splitter off. I put the armor piercing thing on there. Maybe, I don't know exactly what's causing the game to crash in that particular situation. We're going to spawn in gunners. We're going to try again. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Hopefully my game's just not, you know, super duper fucked. You know what happens? Modding Fallout 4 can be a rough issue. I'm sure you guys, if you're interested in mods, know that that's just the circumstances of the deal. Sometimes this shit gets whacked, right? Like, and it just, like, you gotta, like, almost completely restart. So, I mean, it looks a lot better, like, in terms of damage. Obviously, VATS is still broken. Like, that's just, like, an unacceptable amount of bug for me. I mean, maybe not for you. Maybe none of y'all use VATS, and then this weapon could be recommended, maybe. But it's just, it doesn't seem particularly effective, even with that armor piercing on. These are obviously very high-level gunners and stuff, but, like, if you're just going to use the weapon only for the mid-game, I don't know, man. Like, you just can't make the weapon good enough, right? Like, that's a lot of fucking energy cells, fusion cells, whatever you want to call them, right? That you have to use to get this thing going. I mean, you want to go for headshots in VATS. It's a legendary gunner. I execute the critical. Absolutely look fucking foolish while doing so. And then my game crashed again anyway. So maybe it's just the gun. Maybe it's just my game. I don't know, you guys. So I don't know if these crashes are happening because of the gun. I don't know what exactly the deal is, obviously. I'm not going to completely blame the gun for that. But the gun is not effective enough at high levels. I don't know if it's going to be very effective long way. Obviously, they balance against the SMG, but the SMG is a bad gun, too. The only good SMG in the game is the spray and pray, because you do that. You essentially double up its damage with explosive damage, and you can hit multiple targets in an area. It has an extremely bad VATS bug. This is like the first mod in a long time that I can remember that's a hard, like, don't do it. Just don't download this one. Like, I don't know if there's that much benefit to downloading it. And I like some of the other Institute weapons that they made. Like, instead of the energy SMG, the covert pistol was cool. The electromagnetic rifle was cool. Had some cool, unique stuff you could do with it. But this one, man, it's just bugging me. It's just, I don't like it. So, I mean, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If the mod author wants to leave a comment and, you know, be like, I updated it, it should be fixed now. It's just a bug, right? But it's a hard bug for me to get over. There'll be links still in the description. If you are interested in the mod, you can find a link in the description. It's not like I don't link mods I don't like. And you can download this mod for yourselves there. You could, you know, find the Nexus mod page in the Bethesda.net page link there. If you guys have enjoyed the video, like the video. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. That way you can check out more videos from me. And pretty much other than that, you guys have a good rest of your day, whatever it may be. And I will see you in the next episode.